Today's topic will start the revision of the first unit, and the first topic or the first question which we'll see here is what are the basic stages on a network. Okay, so we'll see what are the basic stages on a network. The first stage, whenever we are saying the basic stages of a network, okay, basic stages of a network, that is nothing but uh, uh, that is nothing but the stages how an attack happens, basically how an attack happens, or how an particular attack is happened by a network, or what are the steps taken by an attack. Okay, so basically there are 6 steps here. The first step is initial covering. The second step is network probe. The third step is crossing the line toward electronic crime or e-crime. The fourth step is capturing the network. The fifth step is grabbing the data, and the sixth step is covering the tracks. So we'll see the first step of how an attack is done on a network. Okay, so here basically we are seeing how an attack is happening on a network. The first step is initial uncovering. Now, in initial uncovering, there are basically 2 steps or 2 stages. Let us say 2 steps or 2 stages involved. The first one is resonance. Where what happens is, here basically we are searching the information about the target either by googling or finding some related information of a person through some websites. Now, once we have got the basic information of a particular victim or a organization, if now suppose if our target, or if the target of an attacker is basically an organization, then what does the attacker does is basically it uncovers the information on companies' internal networks, such as internet domain, what are the machine names, and what is the company's IP address ranges. Okay, it is not possible to detect the attacker because it is nothing illegal here. Since what are we doing? We are just getting some information. Okay, if we are getting information of an individual, okay, or if the target of an attacker is an individual, then if the attacker either googles it or finds the people's normal finding websites, use different websites of the people and try to find them. If the target is an organization, then what the attacker does is basically it uncovers all the information related to that company. That is, what is its internal network, that such as what is the internet domain, what are the machine names, what is the company IP address ranges, and these are nothing illegal because the attacker is not trying to attack or anything. So it is basically legal. Next is network probe. At this particular stage, the attacker used more more of a technique which is used for network scanning. Okay, to get some information, and basically an attacker uses a particular technique, that is ping sweep. Okay, which is a basic network scanning technique which is used to determine the range of IP addresses, basically the range of IP addresses which they are mapping to those computers, or that's what. So we are using a ping sweep tool which is used for network scanning. Basically, it scans the network and find the IP addresses of IP addresses of the targets. Okay, in that one more tool you can use, that is port scanning. Basically, port scanning also is used to discover the IP addresses of the particular target systems, or what are the services are also running on the target system. Next, the third step of attacking on a network is crossing the line towards electronic crime. Now, what attackers does here is he's basically committing a crime, because what he basically does is he tries tries for exploiting the holes. That is nothing but he tries to find the vulnerabilities. Tries to find the vulnerabilities. Going vulnerabilities are trying to get access, or trying to get access of a particular system. And how can he get that particular access on that particular system? So basically what an attacker is doing here is trying to exploit, or trying to get the possible ways so of exploiting exploiting that particular system to get the access. Okay, so which is basically a crime. Next is capturing the network. Okay, and here whenever he tries to access the system, it is basically through, suppose some programs which are not running on your system, that is an error. Or suppose you have any buffer overflows, or suppose you are using default login or password in n number of in n number of websites. Those are nothing but basically loopholes which you are giving to the target. Next step is capturing the network. Now at this stage, what does attacker attempts to do is he tries to own the particular network. Own the network. The attacker gets a foothold on the network quickly and easily. Okay, and it uses while after capturing the network, it uses some tools so that any evidence is not left back. Next is grabbing the data. Now once attacker has captured the network, he has captured the network, he takes the advantages of the uh, he takes advantages of the target, basically to steal the confidential information, customers some personal information, or some financial information, some personal information, or some confidential information. Okay, or he can also launch some attacks from the system of that target. After doing this, after stealing the data, okay, first we have seen before step we have seen he tries to capture the network. Once he have captured the network, that is nothing but without giving any evidence that the attacker has gone through this particular network. Okay, the attacker gets in gets inside, that is to torsion horses or backdoors. And after that he tries to grab the data. Now once he has gone through the network to the gone through the network of the victim, that is basically he has gone the data, he has got the data of the target. Now once he has got the data, he tries to steal all the confidential informations of the target. He can also, what he can do is he can make the target system as a system and try to attack other systems also through that system. Now, after doing that, next what he does is he covers whatever things he has done. Okay, so this is the last step where where the attacker, what he does is he removes all the evidence of hacking. Okay, and the data, confidential data which he has, the attacker has still, he take those data, and what he does is he removes all the evidence of hacking. Okay, and comes out of the network. So here we have seen two tools for scanning the network, that is uh, ping sweep, and one more is port scanning. So there are also tools used for attacks. The first tool is proxy server and anonymizers. Now what is a proxy server basically? A proxy server is a server which acts as an intermediate between a target or a user and a server. Okay, it doesn't gives out any information related to the user, and this is basically due to security reasons. It doesn't give out any information of the user, that is just basically due to security reasons. Okay, and it also provides speed access to the resources. So what happens here? Once the attacker has got the connection between the proxy server and the main server, what it does is it acts as a proxy, itself acts as a proxy, and tries to get into the target system. Next, what is anonymizer? Anonymizer. Now there we have seen that a proxy server, it hides the details of the particular user. Okay, whatever for some security reasons it hides the details. Here, what happens? Suppose a user tries to a user, if he wants to surf anything, those all details are also untrackable. Anonymizer means any user. Okay, this is a basic tool which makes sure that whatever the attacker does, okay, whatever is hacking, whatever is surfing, everything goes untraceable. Okay, that is the difference, basic difference between anonymizer and proxy server. Where proxy server, there it acts as an intermediary and privacy shield between client computer and the rest of the internet. It accesses the internet on users' behalf. That is nothing but basically protecting the personal information by hiding the client's computer identity information. Next is phishing. Now, phishing is basically nothing but trying to steal. It is basically used to steal personal and financial data. Okay, it also infects systems with virus, and one of the method is online ID theft. Okay, so basically, what is a phishing? Okay, phishing is nothing but suppose you have, let me give you a scenario. Suppose you have got a mail, where in that mail they have said you that some information they have said you, and they have given you a link. Now, what information they have given you is that information makes you attract. It attracts you to click on the link. So that is nothing called as a phish, and that link basically opens some malicious website. Now, how does phishing actually works? The first step in phishing is this. Phishing is usually done by attacker and also by the companies, especially ad companies, to attract, okay, to send mails to the customers who usually surf those items or ads, okay, or check those ads. So the first step is planning. Now, basically in planning, what happens is here group of people or mass of people. Okay. Basically here what happens is the criminals or phishers, okay, they decide what this criminals basically decide is it tries to harm or it tries to attack a group of people rather than an individual. Okay, this collection of techniques or also for mails you get spammers. It's also called as spammers. You get spam mails and all on daily basis. Okay, now once the fishers have known which business house or which group of people they have to target, they next what they do is, after finding that, they will create methods to deliver the message or emails to that particular set of users. Okay, after that particular message is sent, okay, after that particular, now attack next is they try to create an email or web page for that set of attackers. That is nothing but setup. Next, they try to attack. That is nothing but they send this message to the targets. Okay. Now, what phishers do is they try to record all the informations of the victims entering into that particular web page or mail which has been sent by the attacker. Okay. The next thing is the phishers. Next is the identity theft and fraud, the last step and the main step. The phishers use the information of the customers or the targets which have visited that particular website or seen that particular messages. Okay, and get all their financial data, okay, for all the illegal purchases. This is nothing but how phishing works. Next one is password cracking. Now, basically, whenever we say password cracking, it is basically a process where you either try to recover the passwords from the data, okay, that has been stored in a computer system, and a very common approach which normally any person uses, brute force attack. That is nothing but repeatedly trying to guess the password. Okay. Now, what is the basic purpose of password cracking? What is the basic purpose of password cracking? It is basically used to recover a forgotten password or gain unauthorized access to a system, or it also acts as preventive measures by system administrators to check how easily the password is cracked. Okay, so next we'll see what are the manual password cracking algorithms. The first step is finding a valid user. Okay, and after finding a valid user, after that, trying to or creating a list of possible passwords of that user system and ranking the passwords from high to low based on the probability. After that, trying to type each and every password. If it is fails, then next password and so on until unless the attacker gets a success. This is nothing but a manual password cracking algorithm. Okay, so now we are speaking about passwords. We have said a manual password, how a manual password goes on. Then what are the passwords? What are the passwords which are easily guessable? Basically, it can be either enter button or a blank or words more like passport, password, admin. Admin is the most common one, which has been used, or someone's date of birth, okay, or any religion which they follow, or their pet, or their vehicle number, phone number, or some celebrity number. Okay, these are easily guessable passwords. Then you have the categories of password. Online password cracking attacks, that is online attacks, offline attacks, and non-electronic attacks. Now, whenever we say online attack, so we have basically three attacks: online attacks, offline attack, and non-electronic attacks. That is social engineering, shoulder surfing, and dumpster driving. These three we'll see. First, let us see what is online attack. This attack can be created with a script file. What happens is the attacker generates a script file, that is nothing but an automated program which executes automatically keeps on executing automatically, okay, to try each and every password in the particular list. Next is offline attack. Now this attack is mostly performed from a location other than of the target. Offline attack is basically done a location other than the location of the target, where the passwords resides are where this password resides are used. Offline attacks usually require physical access of computer. Okay, so basically what happens is this offline attack is nothing but trying to access the computer and checking it. Okay, it's not through online. We see a network and all. It's nothing like that. Okay, basically your attack happens by physical access. That is physically trying to getting that laptop. After that, going through after that getting the password and hacking the system. Now next, after that, we have seen online and offline. Next is non-electronic attacks. In that, first one is social engineering. In the social engineering, you'll get shoulder surfing and dumpster diving. Social engineering is nothing but social engineering. When we say social engineering, it is either human based attacks or computer based attacks. Whenever it is a human based attacks, you can get like social surfing, dumpster driving. There is nothing but an attack done by human. Suppose, let me take this social surfing as an example. Shoulder surfing. Suppose in a company, I am accessing my laptop. Okay. Whereas from backside, someone is seeing through my shoulder what password I'm typing. That is nothing but a type of social engineering. That is also a non-electronic attack. Now, what is dumpster diving? Now, diving is any data which is not important to you can be important from someone. Now, suppose some data you have printed on your paper, some financial data you have printed, it is not needed, you have thrown uh, in some dustbin. The same information can be important to someone else. That is nothing but dumpster diving. So that's all for today. Thank you.